Well, another great atmosphere in there, another great score, big win. Um, we still got room to grow. There's plenty of things that we can improve on. I thought it was the thing of the night that I noticed as we went through is that every single leadoff routine on every event started off at a 9-9. And when you do that, good things are going to come down the line. Because I've told you, I've sat in this room and told y'all before, our first three may be the reason that we can really do something special this year on every event, because everybody's got their back three. But those first three, the table setters, if you will, as we've referred to them before, if they can start you out at that scoring level, there's a chance something special can happen. So I'm happy with the win. I think the right decision at the end. I pulled Kiya. There really was no sense in doing that since we nurse her Achilles the way that we do, and it might afford us the opportunity to use her Sunday if necessary. Just by doing that, the score was already. We knew we had won. We knew it was our highest score of the year. I know it kind of squashed the climax of the meet for the crowd and that kind of thing, but we just have to be judicious and make good decisions for the longevity of her. And so I think that it was the right call.
Can you just talk about the depth of this team and the ability to, plug and place different athletes
Yeah.
when injuries come up?
Yeah, and we do have the depth, and there's more depth coming. I mean, we've got several. I warmed up 3 more bar routines tonight than what was out there, so we warmed up a total of 11 bar routines out there tonight that could go, and Liv Dunn getting in on floor and doing what she did and went 9-9, and it's like we didn't miss a beat. Alona being out is a big blow, but it's when you can replace her with somebody of that caliber, and there's more behind it. Sierra Ballard, who's gone 9-9 for us in the past, is another one that's there. Elena Arenas can do a floor routine. So we've just got a lot of them, and the trick is how you got to keep them happy, right? So they've got to understand that their job is to be ready, so they don't have to get ready, and when they get their opportunity, they got to go out there and get it done. And the new kids that went in tonight did a great job of that. So we'll see some new faces Sunday probably. In all likelihood, we haven't made any decisions about lineups yet, but my guess is. We wrote down 3 or 4 contingency plans earlier in the week, depending on how this went tonight. And my guess is we'll be able to get some new faces in on Sunday for Missouri and Arkansas.
And, kind of what you were saying with Missouri and Arkansas, even if there weren't any injuries and, there weren't any issues of that nature, how comforting is it to know that you just have that ability to be able to, perhaps rest some athletes?
It's tremendous. It's tremendous. It's you got to let them go through the process of getting their feet wet too. So, sometimes when you put somebody new in, you got to be able to excuse a little bit of a mistake because it's their first time going. Elena Arenas did bars for us for the first time ever and did a really nice bar set until the dismount. And but she's been doing a great job in the gym, and I think we'll see her back out there again. But it is very comforting. It's very comforting to know that if things get a little bit wonky and we have some issues that we got to deal with, that we can absorb it to a large extent.
4th highest beam score in program history. How would you describe that from that rotation from top to bottom?
That beam team's pretty solid, man. And again, it goes back to Christina Desiderio. I know I keep beating that drum, but the way she starts us off is just such a settling thing. I thought Bridget Dean, coming through after her first 2 meets, struggling a little bit and kind of getting back in her rhythm and doing the routine she did tonight was a big routine for us to get her back over that hump. Kai Rivers did another nice job tonight on beam, and we've got other pieces. Sammy Durante can do it. Elena Arenas can do it. There's Olivia Dunn is a great beam worker. So is KJ Johnson. So we're just we're trying to bring people along a little bit slow. And put them in places where they're most comfortable and where we see the most level of consistency. But that was a heck of a beam lineup. And we're getting to a part of the season where on that event I don't like to change things too much as we get towards the back half of the season. So that could potentially, and I'm not locking myself into that just yet, but that could wind up being the lineup that you see down the stretch into the postseason.
Just considering throughout the season how KJ's performed as a freshman, can you just talk about the injuries that she's been able to overcome and still perform the way she has?
Oh man, that she's had a rough time the final 2 years of her club career. She's got titanium rods in her shin, both shins, and they hurt. They're not going to break because there's titanium in them, but they do hurt, and it's painful. And she's got issues with her back that I think we made some headway on getting cleared up this week. But more than anything with her is she's discovering that she's really good, and she's got world-class ability and quick twitch and explosive power. And if we continue to see her grow to where she's believing how good she can be, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's no limit to what she could do over the long haul for this team and this program on 4 events at some point. It's late too, isn't it? Oh, come on, bro.
I know. So, any idea how much you might compete, Kiya and Haleigh on Sunday? I mean,
I don't yet. I think the likelihood that Haleigh will. Haleigh felt good after the meet. She said she felt good, and we didn't. We had kind of come through this period where every time we'd get going, there was another little tear. So my hope is that it's done and that we're past that little the kind of incremental tearing of the plantar fascia that kept going on. She says she feels good at the end of the meet, and generally, she always says she feels good. So that's a caveat. She's not ever going to tell me she doesn't, but I can usually tell in her face and in the way she says she feels good whether it's true. She said it with a little fervor, so I think she will get to go. I don't know if it'll be all 4. I think Kiya probably comes out on something. It may not be floor now, though, because I think initially, my mind was wrapped around the idea of not competing her on floor. But given that she didn't go tonight, maybe we can do that, and maybe we can rest her on something else and give somebody an opportunity somewhere else. I just really got to do the math and figure it all out in the morning. Once they get in for treatments in the morning, we get on the bus at 9:30. We'll kind of get an injury update from our trainer Jenny, and we'll be able to kind of ascertain what direction we want to go from there.
this isn't what you wanted, this isn't what you planned, but at the same time, this is what you will see in April, right? So, right. Like the 2 and 3 days.
Yeah.
So just talk about that.
Well, and that, Scott, that's exactly the way we presented it to the team, is that we're not going to look at it as a negative thing that we have to make up a meet and do a double weekend. This is an opportunity. It's an opportunity that other teams aren't getting unless they've scheduled a double meet weekend. And we're going to have 2 meets in 3 days, and we're going to have to do that if we want to go where we want to go. And so this is an opportunity for us to get a feel for that and understand what that feels like, and really get accustomed to it. So it's a great opportunity for us, and hopefully we can go to Missouri and perform well. The only difference is that when you get to postseason, you're probably not going to make very many lineup changes, and we can do that this weekend as a bit of a luxury. But just from a travel and taxing, sort of mentally, it can prepare us better for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Aaliyah is you're exactly right. I mean, she's become like a mainstay on balance beam, and now on floor, we're seeing that come together for her too. I told her tonight she warmed up bars, and there was a chance we might get her in, but she didn't quite get over the hump this week, and Elena beat her out, and so she may get to go on bars Sunday. But I think more than anything, she just has to be settled. She gets a little amped up right now. It's just lack of experience in this. She's got tons of experience in the sport, obviously, but this is a different animal. And so when you get in front of these crowds and you're doing it for your team, it just feels so different. And so she's just kind of, we're bringing her along as slow as we can, and and just trying to put her in places, just like KJ. It's no different. We're just trying to keep her in places where she's comfortable, confident, and everything happens naturally. All right, guys. Thank you.
Kiya, I guess if you could just describe that perfect 10 on beam, I guess kind of just talk about it, describe it for us.
I mean, I think I really wasn't nervous going into beam because of what my teammates did before me, and the scores kept building the entire rotation, and I just tried to do my normal beam. So, I mean, it was really fun.
I guess
Killed it.
question for both of y'all, I guess, just how much fun was tonight? I mean, especially coming off the loss at Florida, just being back at home and having that environment and everything, just how much fun y'all had.
It was absolutely amazing. Tiger fans are seriously the best fans in the country, and we lead off their energy, and they bring the energy every single time they come in here. And just so thankful for them and everything they've given to LSU Gymnastics and honestly any sport on this campus. They're amazing, and it was so much fun. And we're about to go do it again on Sunday in Missouri. So,
And yeah, to go off that, it was really fun to be back home with our home fans. Florida was definitely a pretty big crowd and a little bit intimidating, but it was fun to come back here and have another big SEC meet, but in front of our crowd this time.
For both of y'all, just physically, how are y'all feeling? You know, Coach was saying still some pain and stuff like that, but just physically, is it better? Is it worse? Just how are y'all feeling in general?
I honestly think I'm getting better. I'm really controlling what I do in the gym, thinking quality over quantity, not as many numbers, not as many routines, because I've done all of these routines so many times. So right now it's just muscle memory. I know what to do in the gym, and not doing so many numbers has really benefited my body, and the coaching staff has really understood that, and I think it's going well, and I'm a lot better than where I was a while ago.
I think I'm getting better as well. I think for me it's more up and down, and it's just every day. Not every day is the same. Every day is kind of different, but overall I feel like I'm feeling better. I also try and do not a lot of numbers in the gym and even in warm-up at meets. So I try and do everything I can to feel my best at every meet.
And can both of y'all just talk about the depth of this team when injuries do come up to be able to, plug and place different athletes in different positions?
Go for it.
Yeah, we've definitely been working on that, and a lot of inter squads recently have had like 9 or 10 people on every single event, so we definitely have depth, and if we need it, like, we can use it, especially with these 2 meets coming back to back and then going to TW next week. Like, we have people ready, so the lineups may switch.
And yeah, just going off of her, the depth of this team is honestly amazing. I think knowing if one person can't go in that day, then we have so many more people behind us that can go in and are willing to look at each other and say, I'm doing this for you, because if you can't go this day, if you can't give 100%, I can give 110. So it's just amazing to be on such an amazing team, and I love every bit of this team.
Yeah, Haleigh, how big of a challenge do you see this period having to compete in 2 meets in 3 days and then want to be on the road? Like, is that a big challenge?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's really setting us up for what's going to happen in the postseason, because that's kind of what's going to happen. We're going to compete, we're going to have an off day, and we're going to compete again at regionals and nationals. So I think it's kind of like a little dry run for this postseason. So I don't think it's going to be too difficult. It's really going to be important to, like tonight, get off our feet, get anything like treatment we need, and we get on a plane tomorrow to fly to Missouri. I'm really excited.
One for each of you. For Haleigh, where is the plantar fascia right now? Is it still partially torn, or is it gone completely yet? Or
The last time we got it checked, it was still like a little piece still connected, but honestly, I haven't had any problems with it since after Florida. Like the week after Florida, I was training with no pain, so I think it's really going pretty well. So I think it's going to be good, and I honestly hope it's gone. Like Jay said, if it's fully torn, it's going to be better, because there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's nothing going to be structurally wrong with my foot. It's just pain management at this point.
And Kiya, this is 3 straight meets where y'all have had excellent scores. I mean, I know y'all didn't get the win last week, but it was an excellent score. But speak to the competition level out there this year. I mean, a lot of people have great scores. And they had a 197.6. It certainly wasn't a terrible score for them either. I mean, the competition this year just seems to be that much more intense.
Yeah, everybody seems like they're on their A game almost every single week, and we're getting into it. Like, we feel comfortable. I think we're proving to everyone around that we're here and we're gonna stay here. And we're also proving to ourselves every day in practice and each week that like we are that team, and we're gonna be really, really good at the end of this.
Thank you.